I mean, it's really an honor to be getting this public service award on Gandhi's birthday for a person who has done so much. Such a strong legacy. It really means a lot to me, and for that I thank you. But I want to say that I can't accept this award, not as a personal award, because it's a huge team effort. This award goes to my wife. My family members, my BAC, shout, BAC guys. Yes, I make everybody work really hard. We talk about the world don't have hope. There is hope. There's hope as long as there are people who want to make a difference. And that's what life is about. So when you look at the world, you see the wars, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's Ukraine, Russia, you look at all of these things, and then there's no hope. But you then look at the side that people show. I'll give you some simple examples. On Friday, someone asked me, he said, the Deepavali is coming up. They're all these Indian families who don't have money. They can't even buy stuff like Guru or Kanda or whatever. On Tuesday, I just put on a WhatsApp on my phone. We already raised the money for the 200 families. And now we're during the pandemic. And honestly, during the pandemic, it was our best year in terms of how we perform. Because I tend to wake up when there's a crisis. Others can be quite complacent. But the moment there's a crisis or a disaster, that's when I'm at my best. I'll sleep 3 hours a day, make sure I work 19 hours a day, and say, how are we going to do this? And during the pandemic, a lot of people had no food. Migrant workers were suffering, refugees were suffering. We just set our thing in motion. And WhatsApp to friends. We got 1.6 million ringgit coming in. I got permission from the police to go out and give, for 15 of our vehicles to go out and give food. And what I said is, we will cover all the costs of transport, delivery, logistics. So every cent that comes in is just used to buy food. And we'll also organize to get all the provisions at a much lower rate because of disaster. So we do this. Which is what people don't realize. When there were the floods in Chala, the Bukit Tana, the Kapok Tana, Sri Muda, the floods, 10 days we were 500,000 ringgit. We raised. When there was COVID, when the hospitals were asking for equipment. See, the problem is actually this. People always fail to understand that every one of us on this planet is capable of doing great things. Every single one, every single person in this room is capable of doing great things. We have your Nelson Mandelas, we have our Mahatma Gandhis, we have Mother Teresa's. But why were they great people? Because they showed up. Showing up is a huge part of it. Because it's very easy to sort of sit in the background and just say, you can't do anything. So when someone is hungry, do we say, well, he should have worked harder that he can actually feed himself? Or do we give him some help while we figure out how to empower him so that he can actually feed himself? I have seen this person who came before. Nothing is impossible. If you tell me you're going to find a way of 100,000 people need something, I will figure it out. Why? As an education, an entrepreneur, as a job as an entrepreneur is to solve problems. People solve problems for profit. I say we can use that power, that skill, to solve problems, to solve social issues. We call it social entrepreneurship. So this award is not mine. It's for every single person, donor, volunteer, change maker, friend, family, who was part of this journey, who made what people connected. How did you impact half a million people? How did you have 500,000 people during the pandemic? The reason we could is because we have a caring, kind society. So don't lose hope. I don't lose hope. Gandhi said the way to find yourself is to lose yourself to others in service. And while I'm very honest, I'm not a person who studied Gandhi or looked at Gandhi, But somehow that ethos has something that I have had in me from a young age. From starting the school, when my wife and I started at 23, 24, every student, and even later, everyone has my phone number. They will call me at 3 o'clock if something happens in the morning, or 2 o'clock. But that is service. But that same ethos of trying to help the community is about service. Because education is not about literacy or knowledge. As Gandhi said, it's about having a conscience. It's about building character. And ultimately, it's about serving humanity. So we have to look and see how are we going to serve humanity. The other problem we have is this, is we don't see people as people. We see people as by race, by religion, by citizenship or statehood. And if really society is to develop, we have to stop that. We have to help people regardless of race. We have to help people regardless of religion. We have to help people even if they are stateless, they are refugees, whatever, regardless. We just help them because there's another human being. That's what being human is about. Service means service to humanity, regardless. So what I want you all to do is, I want you all to take this back. That within each of us is a power to do great things. And the power to do that great thing doesn't start next week, next year, next month. It starts now. You can start small, helping one student by teaching him, supporting one person for his tuition, supporting one poor family for a couple of their meals, listening to someone who has a problem. That's all it takes. And, you know, if the world, Henry Ford, because was asked this once to define success. And he said success is when you have done more for the world than the world has done for you. We have 7 billion people in this world. I will check the latest numbers. Just imagine if 7 billion people were doing more for the world than the world was doing for them. Instead of, we won't have the world we have today. I feel there are 3 or 4 things to look at. Number 1 is gratitude. If you really want to end all conflicts, all wars, it's being grateful. If you are grateful for what you have, you will be happy. So for me, I am very grateful for the fact that I am blessed. I don't need anything else I don't need more things, I don't need more material things, I don't need anything else. So the first thing is, if you learn to be grateful for what you have, you will be happy. The second thing is getting rid of the ego. That's the biggest problem in humankind. I don't say I won't have an ego. Every one of us has an ego. But if we get rid of our ego or reduce our ego by being humble, because ultimately humility is the strongest asset you can have, characteristic you can have. Look at Gandhi. Such a humble person, but he moved the world. And now, what is 156th anniversary of birthday, we are still here talking about him. Humility is far more powerful, than any other figure. So be grateful, be humble, live a life of service to help others. These are the 3 things which I hope that we take. And I really want to thank the Gandhi Memorial Trust and Mr. Sri Hari, who is now the chairman of the trust, was actually my student in 1992. We sometimes don't know the footprint or the impact that you have created. But none of it is possible, not would have been possible without people like you in this room and the people out there. So give yourselves a huge round of applause.